Welcome to the Prop Market. I'm your host, the Prop King, and today I'll be going over my Week 6 college football prop picks. I'm excited about this week. I'm excited about last week. We did a great job last week, and I think we're going to continue to do a good job on our picks. Kind of looking through this week's slate, we have some really good opportunities, and we have some guys that we have previously picked that we're going to pick again because I just feel like they really give us a good opportunity to win. Um, Someone asked a question last week about my projections, about if I would still take this number. If you take a look at my projections, they pretty much give you where I would take the number to, give or take 20 yards or so. So if it's still in that projection range, because I know these numbers do move, that's why it's important that you subscribe and turn your notices on. But these numbers do move. So just in case that they do move, um, I definitely would tell you that picking the number in my projection would be a good idea. Once it gets to 10 to 20 yards, I probably wouldn't pick it anymore. I'm excited about last week, and we're going to go over some of our stats from last week. I just want you to know 100% of the stats it's 100% transparent. Every pick that we make is on the show. Every pick that we make is documented and it goes into the stats. So, everything is straight up, straight down. None of this, I picked this one week and now I didn't pick it the next week. No, I'm keeping it direct with you so that, you'll know exactly what you're doing. So with all that being said, let's look at how we did last week. Like I mentioned to you, we did really well. Won 7, lost 3, um, 7 out of 10 for 70%. We did make 11 picks, but one pick DNP. So we're at a 70% win rate for last week. That's going to win you a lot of money. As far as how we're doing for the whole year, we're 38 wins, 21 losses for 64%. Remember, you only have to be 54% to be profitable. So if you're following our picks, you're very profitable. 85 for 127 for 67% for the whole year. So we're doing really well, and we want to continue this trend this week. So we're gonna go ahead and go to look at last week. I told you guys we went 7 for 10, 70%. So that's really good. Beck hit over. Hartman did not hit. Jones was over. Dart, Ewers, Rice, Leonard, DJU, Daniels, and Rattler. So overall, pretty good picks. Leonard kind of let us down. Rattler for the first time, he didn't cash, and then Hartman, that was just a bad read by me. Now going on to our first pick, here's a guy that I feel is due a breakout game. He hasn't had one since LSU, and I see it happening against Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech should give up some big plays. Jordan Travis has really good wide receivers, and he's talented as himself. A lot of talent, a lot of experience, and he has motivation for stats because I feel like he wants to get in that Heisman, consideration, and he's gonna have to put up some big numbers this week. I love him in this spot, over 263.5 passing yards. I think he's gonna rack up the yards. I think Coleman and Wilson will help him out a lot this week. Next guy we got is Cam Ward, transfer from UIW. Has been tearing it up. Washington State. You see his numbers on the screen. His numbers are crazy. 348 yards, 390 passing yards. I mean, those are crazy numbers for anybody. So, I mean, I love the fact that he's playing UCLA. Their secondary looks like they're going to give up a lot of yards to him. I see him throwing the ball a lot because Washington State doesn't have a great running game. So I see him throwing the ball anyway into the 30s, maybe 30 passing attempts. And I see a high usage rate. This is also going to be a high pace game. Chip Kelly likes to run plays, even though he's slowing it down with a freshman quarterback. The over and under is at 60. I see Ward getting most of those yards, most of those points, Washington State. So I love Cameron Ward in this spot over 299.5. Next, we have Tua Tagovaa from Maryland. Tua averages 292. We're getting him at a good discount at the number they're giving us on Prize Picks. His projected passing is at 255. So I'm not projecting his average less, but even with that, he's well over the number that they've put on him for Prize Picks. Like I said, I love Tua's little brother here. He's averaged, a really good amount of yards, and he has, Ohio State has a high-powered offense. Maryland's going to have to keep up with it. I expect Maryland to be losing, and I see that, Tua will get a lot of empty yards. We talk about empty yards. Those are yards that not going to help you win, but just yards that you end up getting. So in the game totals over 57, more likely to hit. So I definitely like his over here, 232.5 passing yards. The next guy we got is Devin Leary from Kentucky. Devin Leary is an experienced guy. He's been around the block. He was at NC State before. So he's transferred to Kentucky. He hasn't thrown the ball a lot. He didn't throw the ball a lot last week. But he still has a decent average. Georgia defense will fix their run problems this week, and they will force Leary to throw the ball. Last week, they did a lot of running. I feel like they're going to force Kentucky to throw the football. And so his numbers coming in really low. I also was there and saw Georgia play in person and saw their cornerbacks, look a little lost on a couple occasions. Guys were running wide open. Guys were getting beat. So I don't see any way that Devin Leary does not go over this number. Not a very high total, 184 passing yards. I see Devin Leary clearing this very easy. Next guy is Jackson Dart. What can I say? This Ole Miss offense is going and is working at every single opportunity. It's just going full motion. Lane Kiffin kind of getting it how he wants it. And you got a guy like Jackson Dart who is rolling, and you put him against an Arkansas defense who has shown that they cannot stop a nosebleed, literally. So I see Jackson Dart, tearing this Arkansas defense up. And then on the other side, I see him having to score because Ole Miss defense is ranked 104th in the nation. So he doesn't have a great defense. And he's not going against a great defense. So that means there's going to be a lot of points on the board. I love his over 275. Next guy is Carson Beck of Georgia. He's averaging, 300 yards passing. I got him going a little under that at 280, but I've got a chance to watch him. Georgia doesn't run the ball as much as people think. If you go back and really look at the stats, they throw it just as much as anyone else. It just seems like they run the ball a lot in the second half when they have big leads. When they have big leads, they do run the ball a lot. But I don't see that happening. I see this being a competitive game. So I love Carson Beck over 263. Here's a guy that I'm picking something that I don't usually do. He's over the average passing yards, quite a bit. He's not over the projection, but really close. So you see, I only have one, prop king emoji. So if you want to wait on this one, by all means, see if it goes down. But I also know this Red River shootout is going to be super competitive. I don't see any reason why the number's not close to 70. And Quinn Ewers has Xavier Worthy, who I think is going to have a great game. So if you're in the fantasy, go ahead and put Xavier Worthy in there. He's going to have a great game. Quinn Ewers, uh, he's had a good string of games. Um, I don't expect Oklahoma to stop him. I do expect Oklahoma to score. So, I think Quinn's going to have to keep up with the scoring. I like his over 293. Next, we're going to look at Marvin Harrison. He's a receiver from, Ohio State. He's a beast. We picked the ex Hall of Famer last week, son, and he cashed. So I said, why not do it again? Marvin Harrison is going to be a focal point. Maryland cornerbacks, defensive backs have nothing for him. He should run open, and he should cover this pretty quickly. He's so explosive. It's only going to take maybe one or two catches for him to get there. I have him projected at 92 just because I don't know how many targets he's going to get. I'm always leery of wide receivers because they're the ones furthest from the ball. So it's not guaranteed they're going to get it like a quarterback. So that's why you don't see me pick a lot of wide receivers. But I do love him here. Is over 80 receiving yards. Next guy we got is Jaylen Milroe, Alabama. You see him at 209 average. He's, projected at 231. A&M has recruited 5-star after 5-star on the defensive line. I don't think these guys are going to get pushed around. I don't think these guys are going to allow Alabama to run them into the ground. They're going to force Jaylen Milroe to beat him with his arm, which is good for our total. Can he do it? I'm not sure. Will he do it? I can't call it, but I know he's going to have a lot of attempts to win this game. Um, if Alabama, wants to win the game, they're going to have to throw the football. If I'm in them, I'm stacking that box and I'm forcing Jalen Milroe to throw. One thing about Jalen Milroe, he's cashed for us many times because he throws a really good deep ball. So one pass from him, he can get you 60 yards. He throws the deep ball better than any other ball he throws. So a couple of those and a couple yards after catch, we should get to our number. Over 197. Like I said, catching them under 200 yards is really good against a really good defense. Next guy is KJ Jefferson. I think I talked briefly about Ole Miss's defense being ranked 104. They're getting the starting running back, and I think that's going to be a focus for these defenses to try to stop. KJ Jefferson has put a lot of work in. He's talented, hit, experienced, all the things that you want. His number is at 219, and I love it. I love his over 219. Next guy is Jaden Daniels. He's been a cash cow, week after week. His number is getting to the point where I'm still comfortable playing it, but it's almost to the point where I won't. But look at his average passing yards, 342. His projecting passing yards at 370. And so I'm not going to talk too much about it, but I'm going to go ahead and bet it's 293. As long as he stays under 300, I'm really comfortable. Once he starts going over 300, I'm not going to be as comfortable. He has a great receiving core. He has a great, um, you know, he has a really bad defense. So that helps him have to score more because his defense is giving up points. And uh, I also like the fact they don't have a really good running game. So it's kind of all on him. Um, I just see him not getting under this number. Under 300 is a steal. Quick recap. You got Travis 263, Ward 299, Tua 232, Larry 184, Dart 275, Beck 263, Ewers over 293, Harrison over 80, Milrow over 197, Jefferson over 219, and Daniels from LSU over 293. If you enjoyed the video, if these picks help you, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Um, I'm definitely trying to get these picks out earlier so you have time to not get bumped. But if you do get bumped, just look at the projections and see where we're going at it. With all that being said, let's have a bull market and you have a great day.